Tonight, I invite you to rest with the story of our home, the only place we have ever truly known. We walk on its soil every day, we breathe the air it gives us, we drink its waters, and yet we often forget to see the earth as the wonder it truly is. Imagine yourself lying on soft ground, the smell of grass still warm from the day's sun. The air is cool, carrying the quiet hum of night. Beneath you, the earth holds a history billions of years old, steady and patient, while above you the sky reminds you that this small planet is enough. In this story, we will wander gently through mountains and forests, deserts and seas. We will follow rivers that have carved valleys for ages, and we will listen to winds that shaped dunes long before we were born. These truths are not meant to dazzle, but to come to remind you of the quiet strength of the world we call home. So let us begin, one gentle wonder at a time. Our planet was once a sphere of molten fire, glowing with heat beneath a young sun. Over time, its surface cooled, oceans gathered in vast basins, and a thin layer of air slowly formed around it. That fragile blanket became the breath of life. Every inhale we take is a gift carried through 4.5 billion years of Earth's patient work, a reminder of how much silence and time stand behind something as simple as breathing. Covering more than 2/3 of the planet, the oceans are older than the tallest mountains and deeper than our imagination. Waves rise and fall in rhythms set long before we existed, whispering across beaches and cliffs. In their depths, sunlight cannot reach, yet strange, luminous creatures thrive in eternal night. Each drop of seawater holds a memory of the planet's beginning, a reminder that life first stirred here, carried by salt and endless tides. Twice a day, the moon pulls gently on Earth's waters, creating tides that rise and fall like the slow breathing of the planet. On shores across the world, this rhythm has shaped lives, guiding fishermen, carving estuaries, and carrying seeds and shells. The tide is both predictable and eternal, a pulse that connects ocean and sky. To listen to waves moving in and out is to hear Earth's own heartbeat, steady and calming through the ages. Mountains stand like great monuments of stone, reminders of Earth's restless strength. Everest rises almost 9 kilometers into the sky, the highest point above sea level, yet Mauna Kea, mostly hidden beneath the ocean, towers even taller from base to peak, formed by collisions of tectonic plates or by fire erupting from below. Mountains embody patience. They are born slowly, eroded slowly, but they endure, showing us that greatness is built not in moments, but in ages. Beneath our feet lies a hidden world of fire and metal. The Earth's core, made mostly of iron, spins with heat hotter than the surface of the sun. That restless motion creates the magnetic shield that protects us from cosmic winds. Though we never feel it directly, this invisible barrier keeps our atmosphere safe and our skies blue. Deep inside, the planet is alive in ways we cannot see, working tirelessly to cradle the life above. From mountain springs to winding valleys, rivers carry the planet's memory in flowing water. They carve canyons, nourish soil, and feed oceans, linking all parts of Earth together. Civilizations have risen and flourished beside them, the Nile, the Amazon, the Yangtze, all guiding humans, animals, and plants for countless generations. Their constant motion is a quiet song of renewal, reminding us that no matter how far they wander, all rivers eventually return home to the sea. Forests breathe with us. Trees draw in the air, we release, transform it, and return oxygen to the sky. The Amazon rainforest alone gives nearly a fifth of the oxygen on our planet. Walking beneath its canopy, one feels small, yet deeply connected, every leaf part of a vast system of life. The rustle of branches in the wind is more than sounded, is the rhythm of Earth itself, reminding us of the balance we depend on. The Sahara, stretching across North Africa, is the largest hot desert on Earth, a vast expanse of sand shaped by relentless winds. By day, heat shimmers and mirages appear, yet by night, the desert reveals skies filled with stars, sharper and brighter than almost anywhere else. Though it seems lifeless, plants and creatures survive here, adapting with patience. In the silence of deserts, Earth speaks softly, teaching us that even emptiness can be full of wonder. At the edges of our planet lie Antarctica and the Arctic realms of frozen silence. Antarctica alone holds most of Earth's fresh water, locked in ice sheets miles thick. Though the landscape appears still, glaciers creep slowly, carving valleys and feeding oceans. Beneath the ice, life survives in hidden seas, warmed by Earth's heat. These frozen lands are reminders of fragility and resilience, showing us that life finds ways, even in places shaped by cold eternity. Earth tilts gently on its axis, and from that tilt comes the gift of seasons. Spring brings renewal, summer warmth, autumn change, and winter rest. Each season tells us that life is never still, but always moving, always transforming. Without this tilt, Earth would be monotonal blossoms, no harvests, no cycles of light and dark. Instead, we are wrapped in rhythm, a circle of time that mirrors our own lives, beginnings, growth, change, and rest. Hidden in ancient landscapes are stones more than 4 billion years old, fragments from the dawn of Earth itself. These rocks have survived fire, floods, and the slow work of ice, carrying the memory of time before forests or seas. To touch one is to feel the endurance of the planet, to hold in your hand a piece of history older than mountains, older than life, a reminder of how far back the story of Earth truly reaches. Beneath the ground, molten rock moves in vast chambers, waiting for release. When volcanoes erupt, rivers of lava pour across the land, reshaping everything in their path. Though they destroy, they also create, building new mountains, islands, and fertile soils where future life will grow. Lava is Earth's fire made visible, proof that the planet is not still but alive, breathing heat and stone into the landscapes we see today. Caves are Earth's hidden chambers, carved patiently by water over thousands of years. Inside, stalactites hang like stone icicles, while stalagmites rise like pillars, each growing only a fraction of an inch in a century. In the darkness, silence becomes profound, broken only by the drip of water echoing through stone halls. To walk inside a cave is to enter Earth's slow imagination, a world sculpted in secret by time and patience. Off the coast of Australia stretches the Great Barrier Reef, the largest living structure on Earth. Made of billions of tiny coral organisms, it runs for over 2,300 kilometers, a luminous city beneath the waves. Its colors shift with sunlight, its waters teem with fish, turtles, and countless forms of life. It is delicate yet vast, fragile yet strong, showing us how many small creatures, working together, can create something larger than imagination. When rivers meet sudden cliffs, they spill over as waterfalls, roaring with sound and mist. From the thunder of Niagara to the majesty of Iguazu and Victoria Falls, each cascade is a reminder of water's endless power. They erode stone, feed rainbows in their spray, and carry life downstream. Standing near one, the air trembles with energy. Yet within that force is serenity, the simple truth that water never stops moving forward. On warm summer nights, fireflies rise into the air, blinking softly as if stars had descended among the trees. Each tiny body creates its own light, a language of attraction written in gentle sparks. Watching them is like witnessing magic woven into biology, a reminder that wonder exists not only in distant galaxies but in fields behind our homes. Their glow turns darkness into celebration, a quiet dance of light across the night. In deserts, winds sculpt sand into vast dunes, shapes that shift with storms yet appear eternal. From a distance, they roll like frozen waves, golden under the sun and silver beneath the moon. Each dune is both fragile and powerful, built grain by grain, yet stretching for kilometers. To walk among them is to feel the patience of Earth itself, painting landscapes endlessly with nothing more than sand, air, and silence. Beneath the ocean's surface, whales sing to one another, voices so deep they can travel for hundreds of kilometers. Their songs carry through water like music through walls, complex and haunting. Scientists believe these calls are communication, navigation, and perhaps even culture passed through generations. Listening to a whale's song is to hear Earth's ancient choir, voices that have echoed in the seas long before human words existed. Near the polar skies, streams of green, purple, and red light dance in the night. The aurora, born from solar winds colliding with Earth's magnetic shield, they turn invisible storms into colors across the sky. To watch an aurora is to feel both small and connected, standing beneath curtains of light that ripple silently. It is proof that even invisible forces, when seen, become art, turning science into wonder. Glaciers seem motionless, yet they flow like slow rivers of ice, carving valleys and shaping mountains. Over centuries, they grind rock into soil, feed rivers, and leave behind lakes when they retreat. Their movement is nearly impossible to see in a moment, but over ages it changes continents. They remind us of the power of patience, how even silence and slowness can transform the world. In ancient forests, giants like sequoias and eucalyptus rise skyward, their roots spreading deep and wide to anchor them for centuries. Some have lived for thousands of years, standing silent through storms, fires, and seasons. To walk beneath them is to feel the weight of time pressing gently around you, as if the earth itself were reminding us of its quiet endurance and the patience required for true greatness to grow. Each year, as days shorten, leaves turn from green to bursts of gold, crimson, and amber. This change is not death, but preparation, as trees draw energy back into their roots for the winter ahead. Forests transform into living tapestries, reminding us that change can be beautiful and necessary. Autumn shows us how letting go can be as graceful as blooming, a lesson whispered by the rustling leaves, carried gently by the wind. Canyons are the handwriting of rivers, carved patiently through stone over millions of years. The Grand Canyon, vast and deep, reveals layers that tell the story of Earth across epochs. Each band of color is a page of time, recording floods, deserts, and vanished seas. To stand at its edge is to look into a library written not with ink but with stone, a reminder that the planet keeps its own memories quietly preserved. Volcanoes rise like scars upon the surface, but they are also cradles of renewal. Their eruptions seem violent, yet from the ash comes fertile soil where forests and crops later thrive. Entire islands have been born from these fires, rising from the sea into new land. The breath of a volcano reminds us that destruction and creation are often one and the same, part of Earth's cycle of endings that always hold new beginnings. In certain places, like Iceland and Yellowstone, water seeps deep into the ground, meeting heat from the planet's core. When pressure builds, it bursts upward as a geyser, spraying steam and water skyward. These eruptions are sudden and breathtaking, yet entirely natural, Earth's own way of exhaling. Watching a geyser is like witnessing the hidden heart of the planet reveal itself for a moment, before sinking again into silence below. Meadows stretch open between forests and hills, their grasses swaying with every breeze. In spring, they burst into carpets of wildflowers, while in summer, insects hum and birds wheel overhead. These open spaces feel like pauses in the landscape, places where Earth breathes more slowly. To rest in a meadow is to sink into calm, where time feels less hurried and the simple rhythm of nature offers its quiet reassurance of peace. Fragile yet determined, butterflies take flight on wings delicate as paper. Some, like the monarchs, travel thousands of kilometers across continents, guided only by instinct and the pull of the seasons. Their migration is both miracle and mystery, a journey of endurance hidden within beauty. Watching them dance from flower to flower, we see that even the lightest creatures carry strength, and that movement itself can be as graceful as it is purposeful. Inside deep caverns, sound carries differently. A single word can bounce from wall to wall, multiplying until it fades into silence. This echo turns even whispers into something larger, a reminder of how space shapes sound. Exploring caves, one feels the patience of water carving stone, the stillness broken only by the drip of minerals forming new shapes. Each echo is Earth's way of answering, a gentle reminder that we are never unheard. Even in the driest deserts, life waits patiently for rain. When storms come, seeds dormant for years awaken, painting the sand with wildflowers in reds, yellows, and blues. This sudden bloom may last only days, but it transforms barrenness into beauty. The desert bloom reminds us that resilience often hides beneath the surface, and that moments of color and joy can appear unexpectedly, even in the harshest conditions of silence and sun. On quiet mornings, lakes mirror the sky so perfectly that clouds and water become indistinguishable. Ripples move gently across their surfaces, carrying reflections of trees and mountains. In such stillness, time feels suspended, as though the world pauses for breath. Lakes hold both depth and calm, sustaining fish, plants, and entire ecosystems. To sit by a lake is to encounter serenity, a reminder that peace often lies in silence and reflection. Rain has been falling on Earth for billions of years, shaping rivers, nourishing forests, and filling oceans. Each drop is part of a cycle older than humanity, lifted by the sun, carried by winds, and returned gently to the ground. To listen to rain on a roof or leaves is to hear the planet's soft conversation with itself, a reminder that renewal always follows dryness, and that even storms can soothe with their rhythm. Beneath the surface of tropical seas, coral reefs rise like living fortresses. They are made of countless tiny creatures building together, forming vibrant ecosystems that protect coasts and shelter fish. Their colors shift in sunlight, painting the ocean floor with brilliance. Fragile yet powerful, they prove how unity creates resilience. Coral reefs whisper that beauty often depends on balance, and that even the smallest beings can shape the destiny of entire worlds. Across the far north, the tundra lies quiet beneath endless skies. For most of the year, it is frozen, a vast plain of moss and lichen waiting for warmth. When short summers arrive, flowers bloom quickly, filling the silence with color before winter returns. Life here is delicate, brief, yet persistent. The tundra reminds us that survival does not always mean abundance. It means patience, endurance, and finding beauty in fleeting moments. In some seas, waves glow with blue light as if stars had fallen into water. This glow is bioluminescence, created by tiny plankton releasing light when disturbed. In caves, forests, and ocean depths, other creatures share this gift. Fireflies, glowing fungi, and deep-sea fish illuminate the darkness with their own bodies. Bioluminescence is life's poetry written in light, proof that even in the deepest night, Earth carries sparks of quiet magic. Wind has no form, yet it sculpts earth as surely as rivers and fire. It lifts dust across deserts, carves cliffs by the sea, and carries seeds across continents. Farmers, sailors, and travelers have long relied on its invisible push. To stand in a strong wind is to feel Earth's breath, unseen but powerful. Wind shows us how something invisible can still shape the world profoundly, teaching us to respect what we cannot grasp. Salmon begin life in rivers, journey to the ocean, and after years return upstream to the very place of their birth. Against currents and waterfalls, they push forward, driven by instinct, stronger than exhaustion. This cycle feeds forests, bears, and people as salmon bring nutrients from sea to land. Their journey is struggle and gift, showing us that life's paths often lead us back home, and that perseverance creates renewal for all. Savannas and prairies stretch like oceans of grass, waving endlessly beneath the wind. These landscapes host herds of animals, predators that follow them, and storms that roll across with power. Though simple in appearance, grasslands are vital, holding soil, storing carbon, and feeding countless lives. Their openness gives a sense of freedom, of horizons without end. To stand in a grassland is to feel Earth's wide breadth, endless, steady, and grounding. Within the crust, minerals form slowly under pressure and heat, painting Earth with hidden colors. Quartz shines clear, turquoise glows blue, gold glimmers with light, and amethyst holds purple depths. These crystals take centuries to form, silent art grown in darkness. When brought into light, they remind us of patience, of how beauty grows in secret places. Minerals are Earth's jewels, each carrying a quiet history of fire, water, and time. On summer nights, meadows and forests hum with the songs of crickets and cicadas. Their rhythms are ancient, unchanged for millions of years, marking the passage of time like living metronomes. Though small, their presence fills the air, creating a chorus that belongs entirely to Earth's evenings. The hum of insects is not noise, but harmony, proof that countless tiny voices together create balance, weaving sound into the silence of night. Each morning, Earth turns us gently toward the sun, bringing light to end the night. No sunrise is ever the same, sometimes fiery red, sometimes soft pastels, sometimes hidden by clouds. Yet each one carries the same message: renewal. Sunrises remind us that beginnings follow endings, that light returns no matter the darkness. To watch dawn spread across sky and land is to witness hope painted anew each day by the earth itself. At dawn, the world awakens with the voices of birds. From the smallest sparrow to the proud eagle, their calls rise into the morning air as if earth itself were singing. This chorus has echoed for millions of years, long before human words. To hear birdsong at sunrise is to feel a promise renewed each day, a reminder that life continues in harmony, carried on wings and woven into melodies as old as the skies. Deserts stretch across continents, seas of sand shaped by relentless winds. Though they appear empty, life hides in their silence. Plants storing water deep underground, animals resting by day and moving under the stars. At sunset, the dunes glow gold and red, waves frozen in place. The desert teaches us resilience, that survival often depends on stillness and patience, and that beauty is not always abundance, but the elegance of endurance. Beneath our feet, Earth's plates shift and grind, storing energy for years before releasing it suddenly in earthquakes. These tremors reshape landscapes, raising mountains and opening valleys. To humans, they bring fear, yet in the planet's story they are movement, the steady adjustments of a living crust. Earthquakes remind us that the ground is never fully still, that even what feels solid is part of a larger rhythm of change. Waterfalls are rivers leaping into air, their voices thundering yet calming. From the towering drop of Angel Falls to hidden cascades in quiet forests, they display water's eternal journey downward. Mist rises, rainbows form, and the roar becomes music to those who stand near. A waterfall is Earth's reminder of flow, of surrender to gravity, and of beauty created by motion. Watching one is to feel the power and peace of nature at once. Scattered across oceans, islands are small worlds unto themselves. Some are born from volcanic fire, others from coral building upward through centuries. Each holds unique life, shaped by isolation and waves. On islands, time feels slower, days marked by tides and sunsets. They remind us that solitude can be fertile, that beauty thrives in places apart, and that even the smallest fragments of Earth carry entire universes within them. Some caves stretch for hundreds of kilometers beneath the ground, labyrinths carved by rivers over ages. Inside, crystals grow slowly, unseen by sunlight, and entire ecosystems thrive in darkness. To enter is to step into another world, one sculpted by patience and silence. Caves show us that Earth holds mysteries, not only above, but below, and that within shadows lie wonders as profound as mountains or seas. In North America lie the Great Lakes, vast inland seas holding a fifth of Earth's surface fresh water. Their waves rise like those of oceans, their horizons fading into mist. Around them, cities and forests thrive, nourished by their waters. These lakes are proof that even away from coasts, the planet carries oceans within. They remind us of balance, of abundance stored patiently in silence, shimmering beneath skies of endless blue. Where rivers meet the sea, they spread into wide deltas, land made fertile by silt carried downstream. These wetlands are nurseries for fish, birds, and plants, places where land and water mingle in balance. Deltas change constantly, growing and retreating with floods and tides. They remind us that creation is often messy, a blending rather than a border, where boundaries soften and new life rises from the mix of worlds. When storms roll across the sky, lightning flashes, splitting the night with sudden brilliance. Each bolt is a surge of energy, a dialogue between earth and cloud. Thunder follows, a deep echo that shakes the air. Though fierce, lightning nourishes soil with nitrogen, feeding plants. It is fire and gift at once, proof that even the most violent displays of nature carry hidden seeds of life, painted briefly in light and sound. On Earth, nothing is wasted, ending feeds a beginning. Plants grow, animals eat, rivers nourish, and in time, all returns to soil. This cycle is endless, a quiet loop woven through every forest, meadow, and ocean. The circle of life is not only survival, but renewal, a reminder that endings are not final, but part of continuity. To live on Earth is to participate in this flow, carried gently within its rhythm. In warm coastal waters, mangrove forests rise on tangled roots, half in the sea and half on land. These roots shelter fish, crabs, and birds, creating nurseries for countless lives. They also shield shores from storms, standing as guardians of balance. To walk among mangroves is to see the planet blending to worlds, where water and earth are not separate but interwoven, each root a reminder of resilience and quiet protection. Wetlands stretch across deltas and riverbanks, places where water rests and land softens. They act as Earth's filters, cleansing water, absorbing floods, and feeding rich ecosystems. Birds gather in flocks, reeds sway with the wind, and life thrives in mud and silence. Wetlands breathe slowly, expanding with rain and shrinking in drought, reminding us that even the softest places hold immense strength, quietly sustaining both land and sky. In volcanic lands, geysers erupt in bursts of steam and boiling water, rising suddenly from the depths. Beneath them, heat and pressure build in silence until they find release. Each eruption is Earth exhaling, proof of fire beneath the surface. Geysers remind us that beneath still landscapes lies motion, energy, and hidden rhythms. They show that beauty can come not from constancy, but from cycles of waiting, tension, and sudden release. Bamboo grows with astonishing speed, rising meters in just weeks. In forests across Asia, its tall stalks sway together, creaking softly in the wind. Its resilience feeds animals, builds homes, and crafts tools. To stand in a bamboo grove is to hear Earth's patience expressed in whispers, each stem rising straight yet flexible. Bamboo reminds us that strength is not stiffness, but the ability to bend, to move with the wind without breaking. Across vast stretches of Canada, Russia, and Scandinavia, boreal forests extend like a green ocean of pines and spruces. Winters are long and silent, summers brief but full of life. Wolves, moose, and bears wander among the trees, living in rhythms set by snow and thaw. These forests breathe slowly, reminding us of endurance, of cycles that move at the pace of centuries. They are Earth's quiet lungs in the far north. Where rivers meet the sea, estuaries form a mixing place of salt and fresh water. Here, fish spawn, birds gather, and reeds bend in tides. Estuaries are nurseries of life, where boundaries blur and diversity flourishes. They are also shields, absorbing storms and waves. To stand by an estuary at sunset is to see Earth blending opposites into harmony, proving that the richest places are often those that embrace difference. Each year, seasonal winds bring rains that flood fields and fill rivers across Asia and Africa. Monsoons are both feared and welcome destroyers of crops and lifelines of fertility. Their arrival marks renewal, saturating soil and feeding billions of lives. To listen to monsoon rains is to feel Earth's generosity in torrents, a reminder that abundance often comes in overwhelming floods, teaching us gratitude for both storm and harvest. In deserts and mountains, stone arches rise from the landscape, carved slowly by wind and rain. Each arch took millions of years to form, grain by grain, drop by drop. They stand like gateways to silence, frames through which the sky peers. Stone arches remind us of time's artistry, how persistence shapes beauty without haste. To walk beneath one is to step through a portal into Earth's patient imagination. In summer heat, cicadas emerge from the ground after years in silence, filling forests with their buzzing songs. Their voices can be overwhelming, yet they speak of cycles, long and hidden. Cicadas remind us that patience leads to sudden bursts of life, that years of quiet can prepare for moments of music. Their rhythm is Earth's metronome of heat, marking seasons with sound woven into the fabric of summer. Some volcanic craters fill with water, creating lakes of unusual beauty. Crater Lake in Oregon shines a deep blue, its clarity unmatched. Others, rich in minerals, glow turquoise or green, reflecting skies like gems. These lakes are born from fire but hold calm, reminders that even violent origins can lead to serenity. They show us Earth's dual nature, fierce yet gentle, destructive yet nurturing, turning fire into water and silence. Scattered across tropical oceans are coral atolls, rings of reef surrounding tranquil lagoons. They are formed over thousands of years as volcanoes sink beneath the sea and corals rise in their place. Atolls are fragile circles of life, sheltering fish, birds, and people. To stand on one is to feel the delicate balance of Earth, where creation and erosion dance together, leaving a sanctuary of calm in the heart of the sea. In Africa, the savanna stretches beneath endless skies, golden grasses waving with the wind. Herds of elephants, zebras, and antelopes move in rhythm with seasons, followed by lions and predators who complete the cycle. Storms roll across the plains, lightning splitting the horizon. The savanna is a stage of survival and beauty, reminding us of balance in diversity, and of the quiet strength of landscapes that seem both wild and eternal. Islands like Hawaii or Iceland rise from the sea through fire. Lava cools into rock, which weathers into soil, which slowly fills with plants and animals. These islands are Earth's experiments in creation, new worlds born from the deep. They remind us that even the ocean floor is not still, but alive, breathing fire into water. Each island is both fragile and powerful, a story of birth written on waves of stone. When rains fall upon vast salt deserts, they turn into mirrors, stretching for miles. Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia reflects the sky so perfectly that earth and heavens seem one. To walk, there is to float between worlds, surrounded by infinite reflections. Salt flats remind us that beauty often appears where harshness seems absolute, teaching us that even the driest places can hold the magic of light and illusion. Some lakes are so deep they hold secrets untouched for ages. Lake Baikal older than most seas, plunges over a mile into the earth, holding a fifth of the world's fresh water. Beneath its surface, live species found nowhere else. Deep lakes are like vaults of time, keeping memories hidden in silence. To gaze across their calm waters is to sense depth, not only in distance, but in history stored below. Across land and sea, storms gather with dark clouds and rushing winds. Rain lashes, trees bend, and lightning cracks the sky. Though fierce, storms are Earth's way of balancing, of moving heat and water where they are needed. When the storm passes, the air feels clean, the soil refreshed, and silence deeper. Storms remind us that even in chaos, renewal follows, and that endings often carry the seeds of new beginnings. Icebergs drift through cold oceans, vast towers of frozen time. Most of their mass hides beneath the water, invisible to the eye. They break from glaciers with groans that echo like thunder, then float silently, slowly melting back into the sea. To see one is to witness patience embodied in ice, centuries of snow compressed into a fragile monument, gliding gracefully through water until it returns quietly to the ocean's embrace. In summer, meadows sway like oceans of green, their grasses moving in waves with every breeze. Wildflowers rise in color, bees hum, and butterflies drift gently from bloom to bloom. This dance of life feels endless, yet it depends on each small creature playing its part. Meadows are reminders of harmony, of how beauty is built, not by grandeur, but by countless simple gestures, moving together in silence and balance. In some deserts, fallen trees have turned to stone over millions of years, their wood replaced by minerals until they gleam with colors of quartz and jasper. These petrified forests are fossils of time, holding shapes of life long vanished. To walk among them is to wander between eras, where the line between plant and stone blurs. They remind us that even what fades can endure, transformed into another form of quiet beauty. Between mountains lie valleys, carved by rivers and ice, where villages, forests, and fields thrive. In the morning, mist rises like breath, wrapping the land in softness. Valleys are both shelter and pathway, places of abundance and passage. To rest in a valley is to feel embraced, cradled between ridges of stone. They remind us that even in Earth's grandest landscapes, gentleness exists, carrying life forward with calm strength. Along tropical coasts, mangrove trees spread their roots deep into salt water, creating tangled forests where land and sea merge. These roots cradle fish, crabs, and birds, forming safe nurseries for life. They also protect shorelines from storms, absorbing waves with patience. To walk among mangroves is to see resilience made visible, a reminder that strength often grows from connection and adaptation, not from separation or force. In rare volcanic craters, molten lava pools in restless lakes of fire, their surfaces bubbling and shifting like living creatures. At night, they glow orange against the dark rivers of stone in constant motion. Dangerous, yet mesmerizing, lava lakes are windows into Earth's fiery heart. They remind us of the power beneath our feet, the planet's core breathing heat, shaping landscapes, and carrying its ancient fire forward into the present. Across Central Asia stretch the steppes' endless grasslands, where horizons blur and skies dominate. Herds of horses and antelope move with the seasons, while winds sweep freely across the plain. Life here is shaped by openness and distance, where survival depends on movement. The steppe is Earth's expression of freedom, where vastness itself becomes the wonder, teaching us that sometimes the greatest beauty lies in simple, unbroken space. Deep canyons catch the wind, turning it into a voice that hums along stone walls. Each gust whispers through layers of rock carved over millions of years, carrying with it the scent of earth and water. To stand within such canyons is to hear earth speaking softly in echoes, a dialogue between stone and air. These voices remind us that even silence can be filled with presence, a song etched by time itself. In deserts, where sand stretches endlessly, oases appear as miracles, pockets of water surrounded by palms, grasses, and life. For centuries, travelers have rested at them, drinking, sheltering, and finding hope in their shade. Oases are Earth's way of surprising us, proof that life endures even where it seems impossible. They remind us that nourishment often hides in unexpected places, waiting quietly until discovery brings relief and renewal. Summer nights in fields and forests can shimmer with fireflies, their lights blinking in soft patterns across the dark. Each glow is a message, a silent signal exchanged among fragile wings. Together, they turn quiet landscapes into starfields of earthbound constellations. Watching them is to witness magic written by nature, a reminder that wonder need not be distant, it shines even in small lives, close to home, carrying light into the night. High in the mountains lie alpine lakes, clear and cold, formed by melting glaciers. Their waters reflect peaks and skies with perfect clarity, so still they seem like glass. In these quiet places, time slows, and every sound feels hushed. Alpine lakes remind us of balance, of the fragile line between stone and sky. To sit beside them is to feel peace made tangible, a serenity carved into Earth's highest realms. In deserts, winds gather sand into streams that move slowly across the land, rivers without water. These dunes creep forward year after year, shifting landscapes in silence. Though they seem barren, life adapts, plants root deeply, insects burrow, and animals track across their shifting waves. Sand rivers remind us that even what seems unchanging is in motion, and that landscapes we think eternal are always quietly drifting under the wind's hand. Each year, monsoon clouds gather on horizons, heavy with rain, rolling in like vast mountains of vapor. Their arrival transforms fields, forests, and rivers, bringing both floods and renewal. Thunder rumbles, lightning flashes, and the sky weeps with abundance. Monsoons remind us that generosity can be overwhelming, that sometimes renewal comes with force, yet always leaves the land richer and greener. They are Earth's powerful gesture of giving and rebirth. Beneath the ground, water sometimes carves hidden caverns until the surface collapses, creating sinkholes. These sudden openings reveal underground rivers, caves, and strange ecosystems. Though they may appear destructive, sinkholes also uncover hidden worlds, secrets the earth kept tucked away. They remind us that what lies beneath can be as wondrous as what lies above, and that the planet holds mysteries in silence, waiting patiently to be revealed. Marble forms deep underground, where heat and pressure transform limestone into smooth stone streaked with veins of color. For centuries, humans have carved it into sculptures and temples, but its beauty began in silence, long before our tools. Each slab carries the story of mountains rising and falling, of oceans compressed into stone. Marble is Earth's art gallery beneath the surface, proof that even in darkness, beauty grows patiently. On steep hillsides across Asia, farmers carve rice terraces that follow the curves of land. Filled with water, they shimmer like mirrors, reflecting sky and mountain alike. Beyond their beauty, they embody harmony between people and earth, each step built with patience, sustaining communities for centuries. Rice terraces remind us that when humans work with the land, rather than against it, landscapes can feed both body and spirit in balance. In deserts and plateaus, sandstone cliffs rise in reds and oranges, carved by wind and water into arches, towers, and mesas. Each layer tells of ancient seas and shifting climates pressed together into stone canvases. To walk among them is to wander through history painted in rock, where silence carries the memory of vanished oceans. Sandstone formations are Earth's storytellers, whispering of eras so long past they stretch beyond imagination. Across North America, prairies stretch wide, grass bending endlessly under the wind. These winds carry pollen, scatter seeds, and shape the rhythm of life. The horizon here is vast, sky and land blending into a single expanse. To stand in a prairie is to feel freedom, to breathe with the openness of earth itself. Prairies remind us that spaciousness is its own wonder, that life can thrive in simplicity and endless horizon. Deep in caves, stalactites hang like chandeliers of stone, formed drop by drop over millennia. When lights reveal them, they sparkle like frozen waterfalls. These formations remind us of the patience of earth, of beauty created not in bursts but in silence, one slow drip at a time. To stand in such a chamber is to enter a cathedral sculpted not by hands but by time, water, and gravity working together in stillness. In valleys and mountainsides, hot springs bubble with warmth from the planet's hidden heart. Their mineral-rich waters steam in the cool air, healing both land and people who bathe in them. Hot springs remind us of Earth's generosity, offering comfort from its fiery depths. They are quiet gifts, proof that beneath solid stone flows warmth, ready to rise and soothe. To rest beside one is to feel the earth exhaling gently. Along coastlines, winds shape dunes of sand that rise and fall with storms. Grasses root into them, holding them steady, while birds nest in their shelter. These dunes are buffers, protecting land from waves, yet they move slowly, shifting with each season. To walk upon them is to feel both fragility and strength, the partnership of air and earth. Coastal dunes remind us that boundaries are alive, reshaped constantly by tide and wind. In places once carved by ice, fjords stretch deep into the land, their cliffs rising steep and their waters calm and cold. Silence reigns here, broken only by the splash of a seal or the call of a bird. Fjords are reminders of glaciers that moved with patience, leaving behind beauty carved from retreat. To drift upon their waters is to feel the touch of time itself, long gone but still shaping the present. Each spring, fields burst into bloom, carpets of color sweeping across valleys and hills. For weeks, bees and butterflies move among them, carrying pollen in a symphony of renewal. Wildflowers are fleeting, their beauty lasting only until heat and dryness return, yet they return each year, patient and sure. They remind us that impermanence is not loss, but rhythm, that endings are always followed by beginnings in Earth's eternal dance. Scattered across landscapes are massive boulders, some carried by glaciers, others left by ancient eruptions. They sit in silence, unmoved for centuries, witnesses to storms, seasons, and passing lives. Children climb them, moss softens them, but they endure, steady and calm. Boulders remind us of stillness, of presence that does not need to move to have meaning. They are Earth's quiet monuments, timeless and grounding against the flow of change. Moss grows in shaded forests, soft carpets of green covering stone and fallen logs. It thrives where light is dim and soil is thin, turning even the quietest places into gardens. Touching moss is like touching Earth's memory, damp and ancient. It reminds us that life does not always need grandeur. Sometimes it is the smallest, softest presence that endures, spreading quietly across time with patience and calm resilience. From cracks in rock, clear water flows upward, bubbling into springs. These waters travel unseen for years underground before rising to the surface. Cool, refreshing, and pure, springs are lifelines for animals and people alike. To drink from one is to taste the deep journey of Earth's veins, water shaped by stone and time. Springs remind us that generosity is often hidden, waiting to emerge only when we pause to notice. At the edges of continents, cliffs rise where land meets sea. Waves crash endlessly below, wearing away rock grain by grain, while birds nest in ledges high above. To stand on a cliff is to feel Earth's raw edge, a meeting place of motion and stillness. The echo of waves against stone is both fierce and calming, a reminder that boundaries are alive, shifting slowly, and that beauty often lies in contrasts. Within stone lie fossils, the imprints of creatures long gone. Shells, leaves, even bones have been preserved across millions of years, capturing moments of life frozen in time. Fossils are Earth's diary, recording not only survival but change, showing us that what disappears may still leave its mark. To hold a fossil is to connect with life's continuity, to touch history written not with words but with shapes pressed into stone. In forests, fallen leaves pile in rich colors of red, gold, and brown. As they decay, they feed the soil, giving back to roots for the spring to come. Sometimes, controlled fires clear old growth, making space for renewal. Autumn's glow reminds us that endings can be luminous, not empty. That fire, decay, and rest are part of the same rhythm of life, each step carrying the promise of another beginning. When night falls deep within forests, silence thickens. Trees stand as dark silhouettes. Animals move softly, and only the wind carries sound through leaves. This stillness feels heavy yet comforting, as though the forest itself were holding its breath. To walk in such a place is to be wrapped in Earth's embrace, a reminder that silence is not emptiness but fullness, a living pause where the world rests in balance. In Antarctica, in Greenland, ice stretches beyond horizons, frozen seas of white reflecting sunlight like mirrors. Beneath the surface, layers of snow preserve thousands of years of climate, each layer a record of Earth's breath. These plains remind us of fragility and endurance, at once vast yet vulnerable, ancient yet always changing. To stand upon them is to feel both small and connected, part of a planet that holds extremes within its skin. After storms, sunlight bends through drops of water, painting the sky with arcs of color. Rainbows last only moments, yet they inspire awe wherever they appear. Each one is unique, formed by light and perspective, never exactly the same twice. Rainbows remind us that beauty often comes unexpectedly, born from storms and fleeting in time. They show that even the darkest skies can end with color, a quiet promise written in light. Soil is more than dirt, is a living layer, full of roots, insects, fungi, and unseen life. From it grow forests, crops, and flowers, and into it all things return. Soil is Earth's quiet recycler, turning endings into beginnings over and over. To hold soil in your hand is to feel life's foundation, fragile yet abundant. It reminds us that nourishment is often humble, carried in what seems ordinary beneath our feet. After oceans, mountains, forests, deserts, and skies, the greatest wonder is simple, that Earth carries us, shelters us, and gives us everything we need. Its cycles are our cycles, its breath our breath. To rest here is to be home. This truth is gentle but powerful. We are not separate from Earth, but part of it, threads in its endless fabric. The planet is not just where we live, it is who we are. And so, dear traveler, we have wandered through 100 gentle wonders of Earth. From oceans to deserts, from mountains to forests, each has whispered of patience, balance, and renewal. These truths are not distant, they are part of you, as you are part of this planet. As you drift into rest, allow the story to dissolve into silence, and let the music carry you further. Gentle sounds will remain, flowing like rivers, breathing like forests, resonating like the quiet pulse of the earth itself. Stay with this frequency, this calm. Let the melodies of the universe surround you, holding you in the same embrace as the land, the air, and the sea. You do not need to return, just sink, just rest, just dream. May the music of earth and sky guide you deeper into sleep until morning light returns. Good night.